On a quiet Tuesday morning, fans of The Big Bang Theory woke up to something more electrifying than a fresh cup of coffee. A cryptic image posted by none other than Simon Helberg, best known for his role as the flamboyantly dressed, endlessly chatty Howard Wolowitz. The photo, tinged with a vintage filter and captioned only with a rocket emoji and the hashtag Stuart and Friends, sent the internet into a frenzy. In the photo, the familiar and much-missed confines of the comic book store, long run by the awkwardly endearing Stuart Bloom. Standing in the dimly lit space, surrounded by shelves of action figures and rare issues, was Stuart himself, played by Kevin Sussman, clutching a new issue of Green Lantern with a sly grin. And in the background, just blurry enough to spark debate, was a figure that bore a striking resemblance to Helberg's Howard. The post was deleted within an hour, but not before fans took screenshots, circled shadows, and debated lighting angles like forensic analysts. Reddit threads exploded. X, formerly Twitter, was ablaze with speculation. Was the Big Bang Theory universe officially expanding? Was Howard coming back? Was this the first glimpse of the rumored Stuart spinoff? A quiet hero gets his moment. Whispers of a Stuart-centric spinoff had been floating in the air for months. Long considered a fan favorite despite his initially minor role, Stuart Bloom evolved from a struggling business owner into a full-fledged member of the gang. His dry humor, awkward charm, and lovable loser persona made him relatable in a way that felt grounded amid the larger-than-life personalities of Sheldon, Leonard, and the rest. A spin-off, tentatively titled Stuart and Friends, had reportedly been in quiet development at Max, formerly HBO Max. While showrunners had remained tight-lipped, anonymous leaks suggested the story would follow Stuart as he attempts to revamp his comic book store in the streaming age, trying to navigate a changing nerd culture while reconnecting with familiar faces from the past. Now, it seems those familiar faces might include more than just a passing mention. They might be back, in the flesh. The return of Howard Wolowitz. For longtime fans, the idea of seeing Howard again is an emotional one. Since The Big Bang Theory ended in 2019 after a 12-season run, each of the main cast members has taken different paths. Helberg, in particular, kept a low profile, focusing more on indie projects and voice acting, while Jim Parsons has stayed close to the franchise by narrating and producing Young Sheldon. Helberg was noticeably absent from the Young Sheldon finale that brought back many original cast members for a voice cameo. That's why this cryptic image feels like a breadcrumb trail, one that may lead to a full-blown comeback. "It's like seeing an old friend across the street after years apart," said longtime fan Katie Ramirez in a TikTok reaction video. "You don't want to believe it, but your heart just knows." And she's not alone. Fan speculation has grown so intense that even casual posts from cast members are being dissected for hidden clues. A recent photo of Melissa Roch, Bernadette, posing in front of a soundstage led to wild theories about her own possible return. Could the spin-off include the Wolowitz family? Could Stuart be rooming with them temporarily? Or is Howard investing in the comic book store as a silent partner? Nostalgia done right. Reboots and spin-offs have become a staple of the modern television landscape, but few manage to strike the delicate balance of honoring the past without overindulging in it. That's why the possible direction of Stuart and Friends is so intriguing. By focusing on a secondary character who never quite got his due, the show has an opportunity to carve its own identity while weaving in threads from the original series. "Stuart always felt like the heart of the show in a strange way," said entertainment columnist Mariah Fields. "He wasn't the genius. He wasn't the comic relief. He was us. The viewer. The outsider trying to fit into this brilliant, eccentric world. Giving him center stage now is a bold but fitting move." Moreover, the nostalgic image Helberg posted, deliberate or accidental, seems to signal a return not just of characters, but of tone. The dim lighting, the cluttered comic shop, the creased comics and worn action figures, it all harkens back to the show's roots. Before Nobel Prizes and wedding rings, before babies and space missions, there were friends gathered around a counter, arguing over Star Wars canon. That's the magic fans are hoping Stuart and Friends can recapture. What we know, and what we don't. Despite the flurry of rumors, no official statement has been released by Warner Brothers or Max. Kevin Sussman has remained characteristically mum, though he did like several fan tweets referencing the image before going silent on social media. Simon Helberg's account has been quiet since the now-deleted post, adding fuel to the idea that the leak was unintentional or part of a cleverly orchestrated marketing stunt. What we do know is that the appetite is there. If Young Sheldon was the franchise's emotional farewell, Stuart and Friends could be its warm return. The question remains: how deep will the show dive into the legacy of The Big Bang Theory? Will other cast members pop in? Could Raj's journey continue? Will Penny make a surprise appearance? Could Leonard swing by for a comic book signing event? The possibilities are endless, and for fans, endlessly exciting. A universe still expanding. Over a decade ago, a quirky sitcom about four socially awkward scientists quietly premiered, unsure of its future. It went on to become one of the most beloved and successful shows of its generation. Now, all these years later, it seems that universe isn't done expanding. And all it took to reignite the spark was a single nostalgic image. So whether you're a day one fan or a newcomer who binge-watched the series during lockdown, keep your eyes peeled. The comic book store doors might just be swinging open once again, and this time, you're invited in from the very start. If you'd like a version optimized for a blog, entertainment site, or social media snippets, just let me know.